Good evening and welcome to yet another session of Ask Me Anything. Okay, so today, it's a very interesting topic today. What are rules you have to follow while eating food? One is general rules, okay, one is very specific rules, okay, and one is your etiquette and all these things, what you have to follow while having food. Okay, it's a very interesting thing. This is basically from Ashtanga Hridaya, 8th chapter, Sutrasthana, okay, where Acharya explains as to how we have to have our food and what all things we have to follow while having food. Okay, so shall we start? So these sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. IST. So I talk about a topic for a few minutes and then it's open to questions. People ask questions and then I answer. Okay. So now, okay, rules while eating. Okay, yeah, Kamalnath, good evening. So this is something which is interesting. Now, rules, the general rules. Okay, this is a shloka from Ashtanga Hridaya which I've broken word by word so that I can explain each and every word. Okay. So, kale, okay, it is not on time, it is on time. Kala, okay, on time. Satmyam, satmyam is food which you are used to. Okay, shuchi, shuchi is clean food. You understand, right? The food should be clean. Then hitam, that which is apt for the condition or for the season in which you are right now. So that is hitam. Okay, snigdha, very important. Snigdha is that it is that which is not ruksha, not dry. You can't eat food which is dry, like just eating poha as such, or having bread as such, or chapati, just like that. Don't eat food dry. Okay, then ushnam. Ushna means food should be fresh and warm. It should not be very hot, it should be warm. That means it is cooked and before it cools down, you have to have your food. Okay, laghu is light, eating light. Shadrasam, your food should have all the six tastes. And you know what? You saw that? Madhura prayam. That means what? It should be predominantly sweet. Your food should be predominantly sweet. How will your food be predominantly sweet? In the sense, when you take all the six tastes, okay. So what we understand from predominant Madhura prayam in the sense, the base with which you mix all the vegetables or all the accompaniments is Madhura. That means it could be either rice or wheat or whatever it is. You are mixing sambar into rice, or you're mixing some other dal into rice, or you're mixing rasam into rice. So rice is the base here. So it basically becomes predominantly sweet, plus adding all other tastes into it. Okay. Now, after the general rules, we will basically get into the how you prepare yourself. Okay. Snataha, that means after shower. That means you have taken a good bath. Then dhauta pada karanaha, that means you have washed your hands and feet. Then tarpayitwa means tarpana means offering. So tarpayitwa means after offering. Whom do you have to offer? Pitrin, that means your ancestors. Devan, your gods. Atithin, guests. Okay, balakan, children. Gurun, your teachers. So all these people you have to offer. This is all before you're having your food. This is preparing yourself. Okay, that means after shower, after you wash your hands and feet, then you're offering the ancestors, the gods, the guests, the kids, and your guru. And then what? Pratipanna parigrahan pratyaveksha. That means pratipanna. Okay, parigrahan. After feeding, okay, all the after every living being, not only domesticated, okay, after feeding everybody who is dependent on you, pratipanna parigrahan prativeksha. That means prativeksha is prati, one by one. Veksha means supervising. So you are prativeksha, supervising each and everything, every living being that is what do you call, dependent on you. It need not be domesticated beings. Okay, it can be plants, it can be trees, it can be your servants, it can be all the cows, the what do you call, all other things, your dog, your cat, everybody, you have to see that they are also fed. Okay, then only you are basically getting into the next thing. So this is the next rule, that is for self. What? Atmanam samyak samikshya. After you have seen that everybody else in the house is fed, then Atmanam, that means self. Samyak means really well. Samikshya means uh, scanning. That means you are looking into yourself really well. That means, are you really hungry? Or are you feeling well? How do you feel right now? That means Atmanam samyak samikshya, analyzing yourself really well. And then what? Krudavan, that means if you are hungry, that means you should be hungry. Okay, don't eat when you're not hungry. That means Krudavan, the person who's hungry. Okay, Viviktastha, that means you're not sitting on anybody's lap or not sitting touching somebody else. Crowded, you are sitting separately. That doesn't mean you're going and sitting isolated. No, you're sitting separately. Viviktastha. Okay, then Tanmanaha. Tat means in that. Manaha means mind. Putting your mind into your eating. Not watching a mobile and eating, or not watching a movie and eating, not reading a book and eating. Tanmanaha. Tat means in that. Mana, your mind is completely focused on you eating and you enjoying your food. Tanmanaha. Anindan. Ninda is to basically shout at or swear or what do you call, putting down something. Anindan, that means you are not complaining about the food which you are eating. That means food is basically cooked well, so you are not anindan, you're not complaining, you're so grateful that food is there in your plate and you are eating it. So anindan. Okay, abruvan. Bruva means to talk. Bruyate means, abruvan means without talking, silently. Then what? Na ati druta, not very fast. Na ati vilambitam, not very slow. That means you should not say for long and eat. You should not finish, put a gulp and eat. Slowly you should eat. Okay. Then what? Ishtaihi saha ashniyat, sitting with the people whom you like. Okay. That means the group of people whom you eat with is very important. So you keep on doing all these things. Okay, you can start asking your questions. Okay, once you follow all these things, you have followed the right etiquette for eating and you will stay healthy. Okay, so this is from Ashtanga Hridaya, 8th chapter. Okay, so you can start asking your questions. Okay, then what all you have to avoid? Okay, Trinakesha de Justam. That means if you see grass or any plant, any leaves or something, or kesha, if you see a lot of hair on the food, avoid that food. Trinakesha ne Justam. Okay. Punha Ushni Kritam. Mistake which all of us do. Punha means again. Ushni Kritam means heating. If you reheat the food, that means you said, the first thing you said, eat food which is warm. That means you've cooked it and you're directly eating it fresh. Okay, punah ushnikadam is heating it again. Then shakha avaranna, that means your food contains only more of pulses and leafy vegetables. That is not supposed to be consumed. You also have to have a little bit of rice and things like that. Okay, that means you should not avoid annam, rice, or basically don't cut down too much on carbs. Okay, then what? Atyushna, it is Atyushna. Okay, Atyushna, that means which is very hot. Don't eat food which is very hot. And Atilavanam, okay, too much salty. Tyajet, avoid all these things. Okay, and if you follow these simple rules, okay, you'll be peaceful and you'll be healthy also. And you will be, see, you, the most important thing is that you see that everybody who is dependent on you, okay, it can be ancestors, it can be your gods, it can be children, it can be guru, it can be animals, it can be servants. plants, trees, if after you have after all of them are fed, then only you are supposed to eat. Okay. Now let's get into the questions. Okay. Okay. How to calm vata imbalance? Okay. Vata imbalance happens mainly due to, if you look at food, if you're somebody who does not eat food on time, okay, or somebody who eats too much of dry foods, or who does a lot of fasting, his vata can go up. So avoid all these things. And exercise wise, if you're somebody who does too much of exercise, or you do too much of running around, or not sleeping during the day, sorry, not sleeping during night, so if you avoid sleep and all those things, your vata can go up. Okay, so if you don't do all these things, and probably you eat food on time, you apply a little bit of oil on your body on a regular basis and keep your body warm, okay, you can get your vata under balance to a very large extent. Is muscle spasm due to vata vikruti? Yes, spasm and sankocha, we call it, okay, mamsa sankocha, that is basically because of vata. Okay, and pain is also because of vata. Okay. Yeah, as I just mentioned, how to get your vata under control. Do small things, take care, eat food on time, good food, okay, and see that you sleep really well and don't over exercise. Don't eat food which is too dry. Don't fast, okay, and don't exert yourself too much. Not too much of stress and tension. All those things will basically see that your vata comes under control. Yes. Good evening, Kamalnath. Yes, Anirudh. True. Annam nan Indiat. Never, okay, never complain about the food you are eating. Ninda means, putting down something is basically called ninda. Never ever put down food. In the sense, don't uh, give respect to food. Because, there are a lot of people say there are a lot of people who are there without food. Apart from that, you should be grateful that food is there in your plate. Pray and give respect to that food and eat it. Okay, so Anirudh, this is a very good quoting. Annam nan India, never ever, okay, complain about food. Can you give any good churna for vata related disorders? I don't understand what specifically you mean, but if you are uh, Hinguashtaka churna, okay, is basically for all vata related issues of the tummy. Okay, but apart from that, I don't know what churna you mean for vata disorders. Bala churna is also something which can be consumed for vata disorders. Okay. um, Marcia, yes, good evening, Marcia. KBK, what's the reason one gets pain or burning sensation in the feet? The feet, in the sense, is it under the feet? Okay, if it is basically under the feet, then there's always a chance that your sugar levels are slightly elevated. Okay, any other reason is that you have not slept for long, or you have been consuming too much of spicy food, your pitta has basically gone up. Alcohol, or you have been doing too much of exercise, you have walked too much in the sun. Anything which can increase the heat of the body can also increase the heat, okay, in your feet. Okay, apart from them, I don't think diabetes is the most common thing why people get burning sensation in the soles. Okay, what about boiled chickpea or green gram for breakfast? Is it coming under more of pulse? If see what more under pulse is, if your food is predominantly only vegetables and pulses, it means that is not a wholesome food, is what acharya means. And that means you also have to have rice or carbs or something in the form of carbs. Okay, and green gram, yes, I think last week we saw that green gram is something which is pathya and which can be consumed on a regular basis, while chickpea is not something which is very healthy. Most people have got issues with chickpea, kabuli chana, we call that, right? So it might not be very, if it suits you, well and good. But apart from that, don't only have Don't, that means don't eat only vegetables and pulses and all those things. Have some rice or some carbs as food. Okay, you need energy, right? Are fresh and dried ginger good for everyday use? Yes, shunti or dried ginger is actually good for everyday use, but don't overdo it because it is heat generating in the body. You can use it because it is rochanam. It increases the taste of food. You can add ginger in taste. So basically, ginger and dry ginger, they don't have too much of difference in their properties. It's that for business purpose or to preserve, they dry the ginger and keep it so that you can use it throughout the year. But when available fresh, it's called ardraka. When available fresh, I would say that should be the best option in your cooking. Otherwise, you can sprinkle a dry ginger powder also. Can be used on a regular basis, but in moderation. But modern lifestyle is just the antithesis of the Shastra. Uh, I don't want to comment on that, but what normally what we see is practices. A lot of things which we see is, um, yeah, eating styles have changed. A lot of things have changed over a period of time. Okay, we don't actually do one thing at a time. Especially people who are working right now, they don't do one thing at a time. They're sitting on the computer and they are eating. At the same time they're eating their food, or when they go to the canteen, they're sitting and chattering and talking and all those things. The tanmana, putting your mind into it. Very few people actually do it. That makes a huge difference. That when you're sitting and when you eat food, don't eat alone. Okay, that means you have to sit separately. That means not in the sense you don't stick to people and sit in a crowded place. Sit separately, but with people, all people who your loved ones around you. Don't talk. Eat slowly. Eat slowly in the sense you really have to chew your food really well. Okay. So I think most modern people also know these things, but they're not able to follow it. Can pepper and ginger be used interchangeably? Pepper and ginger, they actually taste different. Pepper is not that which can increase the taste of a food like a ginger. They are not, you can't use them interchangeably because their properties are different. Okay. In the sense, most important thing is that pepper is not something which will help you. Probably it will not. Okay. Excessive pepper can lead to a little bit of constipation, while ginger is not something which can lead to constipation. Okay, so you should be careful what you're using. Pepper is actually more spicier. That means it is more hot. Chili, the taste, spicy taste is more for pepper when compared to what do you call dry ginger. So if for a change you can use, but they are not interchangeable. Okay, like how do I call it? It is more drying basically. Pepper is more drying while this is not drying. So you should know what to use where. Okay, taste wise, the taste is, and they don't have any similarity in that way. They're very different. So you can choose. Is people an everyday spice at my household? It's only used in Deepavali Lekim. How to consume it otherwise? So Pipali, when you look at Pipali, okay, what a very, 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 very good thing has been told about Pipali, that uh, na tam atyupayunjita, okay, rasayana vidhim vina. Na tam atyupayunjita, that means that is something which you should not use. Ati means in excess. That means not supposed to be used regularly. Okay, which pipali, I'm telling pipali or long pepper is not something which has to be used, permitted to be used on a regular basis, if not being used as rasayana. Okay, that means that's a different treatment thing. Otherwise, don't use pepper on a regular basis. Okay, it is not something which the body can handle. So yeah, in Deepavali Lekyam, people use that. So it is used once a. But if for medicines, yes, we use pipali, not as food. But pepper and ginger, dry ginger, can be used as food on a regular basis. Okay, but not long pepper. How can we reduce eye numbers? Okay, first find out why your numbers have gone up. It could also be because of too much of screen, or you are not sleeping properly. Okay, you are not applying oil on your head, because uh, eye is pittasthana and your drishti is pittasthana. So if you have not taken care of your health really well, okay, and this is kapha sthana, there's always a chance of kapha coming and blocking your vision. So keeping your eyes clean by, there are certain drops which we put in the eyes once in a while to clear the eyes off. And if your numbers are still going up, then I would say that you can go for treatments. There are amazing treatments happening as far as Ayurveda goes, where there is a hospital in the name I've mentioned multiple times. It's called Hridaya. Okay, it's in Kerala. It's a 350 bedded eye hospital. Okay, Ayurvedic eye hospital, where they do wonders about, but it's not that, the contributing factors also have to be looked into, right, KBK? What is contributing that, and those things also have to be brought down. And one other problem is that, see, right now it is 9:20 in India, and there is a bright light hitting on my face. Okay, and there's light everywhere. Every city you go, everywhere it's well lit. When is your eye actually getting proper rest? It's a good question which I'm asking. When is your eye getting proper rest? The thing is that I would say that after sunset, it's always good. You finish all your work by sunset, and after sunset, it's always good to get your dim your light, and so that your eyes don't strain too much, and that will really help a lot in regaining a lot of vision back and eye getting a lot of rest. Otherwise, it's completely well lit 365 days, 24 hours. That is not good. Not only good for the vision, not good for your whole body. Okay. Hi Rani. I'm facing a lot of indigestion issues. Can you suggest any churna for me? I don't know what is the reason for your indigestion. Okay, indigestion can be because you are not feeling hungry, or you are eating food and it's not getting digested, or you are digesting and there's a lot of gas, or there can be also acidity. Okay, so there are multiple reasons what due to indigestion. Okay, so one safe thing I would say is ashtachurna is something which we give kids, adults, elderly people, all of them. Take 1 teaspoon of ashtachurna, mix it with buttermilk, and have it before food, and see that your digestion by and large will improve. If you have got some specific things, then probably I would say it's always good for you to consult a Dr. Rani. Okay. Phalguni, I'm applying Dhanvantaram oil for healing tissue fascia injuries due to gym and bad posture. Getting more pain sensitivity and weakness on day of applying until next day. What does this mean? Okay, see, uh, people sometimes, after, you might see ads, or you might see a lot of people who talk on Instagram, influencers, they say that you've got pain, apply oil. Okay, there are different conditions where you can have to apply oil. Let me come to that. Okay, Phalguni. Okay, when there is ama, or when there's kapha predominance, when you have got inflammation, or there is undigested, we call that stiffness or something like that, especially there's a condition called amavata. Okay, and it is actually, how we diagnose amavata. Trial and error. We ask the patient to apply oil. When the patient completes, after applying oil, the pain has gone up, then we know that ama is there and that has to be removed. So we ask him to immediately stop oil, and then we use powders and basically such things to remove that inflammation from there, or pour some kada kashayam on top of that, remove the inflammation before we come to application of oil. So it is not that oil will handle all kinds of pain. Different kinds of pain have got different approaches. Okay, so Phalguni, if you are applying oil and your pain and stiffness is going up, then that stiffness is something which has to be handled first before you apply oil for the pain. Rohit, I am Vata predominant. I have been on Ayurvedic medication for 3 plus years. I have lost a lot of weight, so much that now I look extremely skinny and reduced to bones. Is this okay? Will I gain weight? Rohit, I don't. If you're Vata predominant, then you are somebody who will always be on the thinner side. But if you have lost a lot of weight and you become skinny, then that is not healthy. Okay. The only thing what I would say is you have to see that you get your Agni back, okay, and your digestion back on track, and other lifestyle things like your exercise, sleep, your food patterns, and all those things have to be on time and moderate. And if you're somebody who's undergoing through a lot of stress, that will also not help. Apart from that, if you follow certain routine, and then a few medicines, rasayana things which can promote your health, I don't see a reason why you will not put on weight. Okay. No, I mean 4 feet, which is upper part of the feet. It could be gout. There might be one reason. I think same burn sensation, right? KBK. It could be gout also. That means your uric acid in your blood might have gone up. Okay. It can be some other inflammation also. I can't comment unless probably see you, or I think you can go consult somebody and see why it is happening. Okay, but one thing is for sure is that if there is so much of heat in the body, then your pitta has gone up. Okay, doing things which will bring your pitta down will actually help that heat come down. Okay, drakshadi kashayam, in my opinion, would be a very good choice for you. Okay, if it is only because of heat, okay, then it will definitely pull your heat down. Okay, see how you're passing motions first of all. Why dandruff keeps coming back? Will using coconut oil make it worse? Using coconut oil, plain coconut oil, for some people, yes, there is a chance, because, but otherwise, if you look at coconut oil is antimicrobial. Okay, coconut oil is very good for dandruff, and if you are using the right kind of oil, uh, there is always a chance of you not getting it back, or the frequency of it coming down. But first of all, Falguni, we should know why you are getting the dandruff, and are you still in that lifestyle mode where uh, the causative factors are still there to create dandruff. Okay, because the scalp infection is one reason why the dandruff never stops. So probably you are still getting exposed to all those things, and as all of us know, too much of stress, or you are not, your scalp is dry, or your body is also completely dry. So you might need a little bit of change in a lifestyle to see that you get long-term results. I'm facing a lot of indigestion issues nowadays. Can you please suggest any churna for good digestion? Oh, Anusha. So I just mentioned, Hinguashtaka Churnam or Ashta Churnam would be a good choice for you. Okay, if you are feeling indigestion, but you also have to see that you are somebody who does a little bit of exercise on a regular basis. Okay, so sleeping early, doing exercises regularly, eating food on time, eating the right kind of food, not going for a lot of junk food like pizza, burger, paneer, tofu, and all those things which are very difficult to digest. Okay, if you look at all those, or if you are on a very high protein diet, okay, there's always a chance that you might end up with indigestion. So eat moderately, and then also follow a little bit of what do you call lifestyle changes. Soundarya. Is coconut milk compatible to use in curries with vegetables? Can raw coconut milk be taken at night? Um, I see milk at night is actually a very good idea, but I would not tell the same. I would not advise the same with coconut milk, because coconut milk is not milk. Just because it is white in color, you cannot we call it coconut milk because it is white in color and it is liquidy. Okay, but it does not contain the properties or qualities of milk. You understand what I'm telling about milk? Okay, animal milk. Okay, so I would not advise that to be had, but more coconut, if wherever you can add coconut, okay, in your vegetables, yes, you can also add coconut milk, because it's basically the essence of that coconut. Okay, but don't overdo it because it becomes very heavy for sometimes it becomes very heavy to digest. Otherwise, if you like it, it's actually good, but don't take it at night. How true is that we need at least 70 grams of protein intake daily? I don't know how true it is because everybody says so, but I don't advocate that, and I don't truly believe that because everything depends upon how much you can digest. Just not just because you are 50 kilos, you have to have 50 grams of protein per day. Doesn't make sense. For me, you have to have a balance. Just like I said before, you also have to have carbs in your food. Don't cut down on carbs too much. You'll feel good initially, but after a point in time, you'll see that your energy levels actually drop and they go down. Okay. So I don't advocate that you have to have so much of protein. This is one reason why you get what? Indigestion also. So be moderate about things. But if you are somebody who is working out in the gym and you are doing bodybuilding and all those things, then probably you might need more protein because your only focus is to build muscle. Okay. But if you're on a day-to-day life, if your only focus is to build muscle, then what will happen to all other tissues? You have to have a balanced diet so that all tissues get nourishment. Okay. If you want to drink any hot drinks on a regular basis, what is the safest hot drink? The safest hot drink is hot water. Okay, boil the water and don't add cool water to cool it, then it becomes unsafe. You boil the water, have patience so that it cools down a little bit and have it. That is the safest hot drink you can have any time of the year. Okay. Are Panchagavya based products for external use and internal use? Recent marketing or actually traditional use? It is suitable, needed for all. Panchagavya is something, it is 5 producers of the cow. Okay. So, yes, it is actually Panchagavya Ghrita is available. Okay. It is actually good for you to consume on a once in a while or as prescribed you for treatments. Yes, it is good. But I am not very sure about using Panchagavya soap and washing your body. What result it has got, I don't know. But I would say taking internally Panchagavya Ghrita is actually very good to stabilize your mind. Okay, but not externally. Anusha, can you please suggest food diet for people facing a lot of burping and indigestion? Anusha, one thing I would say is see the amount of protein you're having. If you're having too many eggs or too much of non-veg or too much of pulses, or you're having also raw food like salads and all those things. People think that salad is easy to digest. No, uncooked food is comparatively difficult to digest when compared to cooked food. Okay, and look at your food timings also, and look at your sleep timings. These are all lifestyle things which you have to make it. We call it ahara, vihara, vichara, and then aushada. Ahara is your food, vihara is your lifestyle, vichara is your thought process, anxiety, tension, and all those things. If all these three things are handled properly, then the fourth thing of treatment is not basically necessary. I wanted to focus on these three things and find out what is going wrong where. Okay, and then probably a medication might actually help you. I personally feel that the gas is generally a byproduct of any metabolism. Little bit of gas is fine, but if you've got too much of gas, you're burping and you're passing gas downwards too much, then there is a problem with digestion, which I would say one medicine or something will not help you. Probably I would say that you can consult somebody, if you've got a good Ayurveda doctor close by or somebody, you can actually consult them, and they will be able to guide you, Anusha. Okay. Shashikar, can we mix pulses like chana, beans, rajma, green moong, boil it and mix like a salad and eat it in dinner? I just said, Shashikar, avoiding just eating green leafy vegetable and pulses is something which is not advisable without carbs. Okay, and another thing, I don't know whether you remember last time also, last week when we came up with what all you are not, week before that, what all you are not supposed to do. Mixing grains, I was telling multi-grain or multi-pulse, these things actually, according to Ayurveda, is not good. If you want to eat chana once, eat rajma one day, eat green moong one day. Okay, eat one pulse at a time. Don't keep on mixing things, because there's something called viruddha. We don't know exactly how they are going to interact once they go inside. So don't mix grains, don't mix pulses. Have one at a time. Why do you want, what's the hurry? Anisha, I think 100%, see, if you were digesting properly and indigestion has come, then there is something which has actually caused the indigestion, right? Then there is definitely a solution. First of all, I think we'll have to identify why you are getting that indigestion. And if you want to continue doing what you are doing, and you have to be okay with some medicine, and I feel, Anusha, that might not be the right approach, and the solution which is being provided also might not be long standing. In the sense, you have got indigestion, you have got burping, you probably might be taking a pan 20 or pan 40, you might get relief, you might take it every day, you'll feel okay, but after a point in time, you will know how it's got side effects, and you'll start feeling the effects. That is an easy way out. I'm trying to tell you that you have to find out what is going wrong and then handle that first. Medication is not very difficult, but trying to understand what is causing that and then staying away from it is very important. Can Vata person use Jeera or Vamu water for digestion, or any legume is recommended? Which one works well, Churna or Lehya? See, Vata person, yes, Jeera water actually helps for a Vata person, because it also takes care of the excessive gas which is being generated. Okay, so drinking it warm is very, very important. And legume is something, yes, there are legumes like Vilvadi legume and all those things which will help in digestion. But, if you are somebody whose digestion is low, legume is not something. Legume is a thick thing which actually needs a little bit of digestive capacity for it to digest. So initially, don't dump what you call legume into your system when you have got indigestion. Start with powders. You can also go for arishtams like Dashmula aristam or Jeeraka aristam or something, and slowly bring your agni up. Give a little bit of ghee, bring it up. Then after to sustain that, legume is actually a good choice. Aditya. Sometimes we feel a general sense of malaise, okay? And if you're about to catch a cold or come down with a fever, what medicine can be given at this stage to prevent falling sick? This is something which is very, very, very common. I see a lot of people do come up with that, okay? So your general sense of malaise is basically indigestion is creeping in. I'm telling you very clearly, Aditya, indigestion is creeping in, okay? As far as medicines go, I can just give you one tonic, which we prescribe for such condition is Amrita Arishtam. Okay, I don't want you to try it off the counter, even though it's available. Okay, so that is something which will help you not create that kind of indigestion. Okay, and another thing is that sunt or dry ginger. Dry ginger, you can take 1 teaspoon of dry ginger, mix with honey, divided into 3. That means 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Take it thrice daily. I'm telling you with honey, okay, not ghee. Let's say honey, okay, with honey, okay. Mix it with honey and divide it into 3. 1/3 teaspoon, 1/3 teaspoon, 1/3 teaspoon of dry ginger mixed with honey will actually help you get your agni up. And see that you probably go down in the amount of food you eat. If you can manage with soups, hot soups and all those things, that will be the best thing for you to do. If you eat food, again, you will start feeling heavy. Okay. Yeah, KPK, thank you. Digestive fire naturally is basically, following your right food patterns and your lifestyle. Okay, like not sleeping late, sleeping really well, getting up early, doing your decent exercises. Okay, taking a really good bath. Not just under the shower for a minute or so. If you really cool your body with water, you'll feel that your digestive capacity actually goes up. And all small things will actually contribute to improving a digestive fire. I don't want to, medicines and all those things are there, but small things will actually count. And even, eating on time is very important. And don't overeat, not guru bhojana. All those things will actually help you, and don't get too stressed also. Okay. What is a good time to eat fruit? Can we mix sweet and sour fruits? I see, Kamalnath. One thing, let me tell you, I'm not a huge fan of mixing anything at all here. Okay, generally mixing that and this and that, we don't know. As I said, what is going to happen with that. So, good time to eat fruit is always. I would always recommend people to have fruit when the sun is up. So, anything before might be 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. From about 9 p.m. 9 a.m. in the morning would be actually a nice time. And I would say don't eat fruit as a snack. Probably 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock after your lunch. If you feel slightly hungry, probably half a fruit would be okay. But otherwise, I would say eat fruit along with your breakfast or your dinner in the beginning of your breakfast and dinner, and then have it. That's it. Okay. Don't cut a bowl of fruits and then start taking it as food. And in my opinion, that might not be a right approach. What are the general practices to improve Agni? I think that's what I just said. Uh, eat the right kinds of food on time and quantities and all those things, and then your lifestyle. Sleeping early, getting up early, doing exercises, all those things, general practices will actually help your Agni go up, and never get too exposed to anything that is too cold. Okay, weather you can't help, because when it is winter, you have to cover yourself up. No cold, drinking cold or anything like that. Little bit of hot water is actually Agni Deepana. It will improve your Agni. Okay. Small things. Okay. Medicines are always there, Rohit, but I would say follow these things and then you'll be fine. Yeah, Anusha, most welcome. Is Draksha Sava good for Vata people? Yes, Draksha Sava is actually good for Vata people. It is actually extremely good also for Pitta people. It reduces the heat of the body if taken in small quantities. You can't over drink it, because it contains self-generated alcohol. Okay, by and large, it controls Vata, and it also brings the heat down of the body a little bit. When honey increases Vata, how can you mix it with churna? You said when honey increases, see, basically I'll tell you. Okay, um, indigestion is the major reason for indigestion is because there's an excessive accumulation of kapha there. Okay, and for kapha, the best anupana is honey. Okay, so when you mix dry ginger with honey and give a person to lick, it will scrape most of the kapha from the whole alimentary canal, and the space for the Agni to start functioning will be better. Okay, so kapha removal is the major action which has to be done for your Agni to go up. Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is an autoimmune condition. We do get a lot of patients with fibromyalgia. Okay, and our results are pretty good. In the sense, it's an autoimmune condition where unnecessary muscles are all aching and painful. So it is we have to give treatments which are which do not decrease, because there is also blockage in the muscles. Okay, so we can't do too much of reducing karshana, we call that. Okay, but we also have to give nourishment. So it's a tricky line which we have to manage, and I'm telling you, we have had so many cases and the results are really good. But in my opinion, Renu, for fibromyalgia, you have to get admitted and then get treatment. Oral medicines and all those things will not help too much, because when fibromyalgia, when the pain and all this, is a lot of inflammation. So we have to do a lot of treatments to first remove the inflammation and then nourish the body. Yeah. So see, fibromyalgia, it depends upon which stage you are in. So in the inflammatory stage, anything, I would say anything that is fermented and difficult to digest will actually increase the condition. So idli, dosa, bread, bun, curd, and all those things are a big no-no in fibromyalgia conditions. Okay, and anything that can digest pretty fast, like I don't know, khichdi would be okay, or rice kanji would be okay, and Moong is one of the best things which you can give in such conditions, and vegetables which are easy to digest, or sometimes vegetable soups will also help you as far as food goes. Okay, and urad is not actually very good for consumption internally, especially when there is inflammation. Anything sweetened is not good. Deep fry is also not good. Okay, why is why Vata person is more prone to indigestion when Kapha is recent for indigestion? Vata person is not prone to indigestion more. Everybody is prone to indigestion the same way depending upon your lifestyle. Vata, what happens here is, your hunger is sometimes unpredictable. Sometimes you're not hungry, sometimes you're really hungry. That is where things go wrong. If you are following a system, you're having food on time and following some system, then you might not have a problem. Otherwise, if you go overboard, the vata person can also get indigestion. But by and large, if you look, a vata person has got unpredictable digestion. Okay, pitta person digests really well. Kapha person also digests, but his digestion is slow. That's all. So if there is too much of kapha or ama, we call that, that is what which has to be removed, Shashikar. And that is why I said, honey will actually work really well. I have not come across this, Nabi displacement, even though people talk a lot about it. Uh, Nabi is supposed to be when there is trimarma. Okay, Shiro, Hridaya, and Vasti. Vasti is the basically the umbilical area. Okay, so that is supposed considered to be a very important vital point, marma. So any injury to Nabi is actually not very good. So Nabi displacement is something which can happen probably due to over stress, lifting weights or wrong positions for a longer time, and with a lot of massage and all those things, yes, we can set it right. But I'm not pretty sure whether physically it can get displaced from there. Raw oats is not something which I know, but a thyroid person is somebody, I'm not very sure about that, whether he should eat or not eat oats. Okay, when does ghee work for digestion? Ghee works for digestion when it is taken in small quantities. Like when you know that the fire, when you're doing a homa, havan, you have got the fire. If you pour too much of ghee, the fire will go down. If you pour little by little ghee, you'll see the fire coming up. Okay. So ghee in moderate, little bit of quantity will actually help you improve your digestion. Okay. Is there anything like we should not eat immediately after lunch? I would not ask you to eat anything after lunch. Okay, don't eat anything. You once you finish your food, you are done with it. Okay, you can probably drink a little bit of water and relax and wait for the next meal. That's it. Don't have anything after your lunch. If you want to eat a fruit, a banana, something, I would say eat it in the beginning of your meal and then continue your food and finish it off. Okay, because something raw will take a longer time to digest. Have it in the beginning and then finish your lunch and then stop. Okay. When Vata person hunger is unpredictable, he should not. I mean, should he eat at that time? Yeah, it happens. It is very tricky. That's what I'm telling you. If you are somebody who follows a routine, that means you're having a breakfast, lunch, and dinner on time most of the time. For such a person, he might be able to feel hunger even if he's a vata person, because somebody who has got a routine will always have the influence of kapha on him. Okay, so he's systematic. So the moment he is follows a routine, he will slowly start feeling hungry on time. Okay, but if you are not hungry at all, like a vata person, sometimes you might not feel hungry at all, then I would say you should be avoiding food, or see that you manage it with a little bit of milk or something like that, and you should be able to manage it. But don't overeat. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I think we're coming to an end of all the questions. I'll come next week with another topic, and then we can discuss on that. Okay. So thank you, and good night.